morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Please like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button right here. Check this out. It's on Amazon.com. A book authored by myself, Martin IFEANYICHUKWU Ekezie, on Amazon.com. Go check it out. Okay. Dalo. Yes, US repatriates Diezani's $52.88 million to Nigeria. Also, INEC submits 1.26 billion naira budget. The cost of conducting election. Now, 21 killed, others are missing as bandits, attack Castena State. Donald Trump was sentenced to unconditional discharge for the hush money payment. Good morning and welcome to Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I am Martin IFEANYICHUKWU Ekezie. It's time to take a look, at the happenings on the corridors of power, to take a look at the political landscape because it affects you and me in one way or the other. Basically, economically and otherwise, it affects you and me massively. So the federal government has received the sum of $52.88 million recovered via assets linked to the former Minister of Petroleum, Diezani Alison-Madueke. And from the United States of America, the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, disclosed this at a formal signing of the assets between Nigeria and the United States. A lot is happening on our political space, so let me bring you up to speed on the happenings, the headlines. US returns $52.88 million stolen funds linked to Diezani Alison-Madueke. Army seeks greater collaboration for effective service delivery. APC Youth Wing celebrates Sheyi Tinubu's selfless service. Aim for United Igbo Nation, Uzodimma tells New Ohaneze. Senator Azuta Mbata emerges new President General of Ohaneze. Tinubu, Matawale, others join special prayers for Nigeria's fallen heroes. Kanu throne, Sanusi secures a victory as appeal court upturns justice. We need 126 billion naira to run in 2025, INEC tells National Assembly. At Armed Forces Remembrance Day, Sanwo-Olu tax residents. Days after soldiers killing, troops neutralize 109 terrorists, arrest 81. This and more will be the cause of our discussion on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08065796599 or 08138397740 or 08139256740. 4-2. And the first story we have for you on this particular edition of Political Views is US returns $52.88 million stolen funds linked to Diezani Alison-Madueke. The federal government, through the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi-San, has formalized the return of $52.88 million stolen funds linked to former Petroleum Resources Minister Diezani Alison-Madueke and her associates. The assets return agreement was signed on Friday at the Federal Ministry of Justice, Abuja. Representing the United States government was the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard M. Mills. In his remarks, Fagbemi commended the collaboration between both nations, highlighting their shared commitment to integrity, accountability, and the rule of law. He described the repatriation as a critical step in Nigeria's ongoing efforts to recover stolen assets, while acknowledging the U.S. steadfast support for restitution and good governance. The AGF disclosed that the recovered funds, known as the Garastica assets, will be deployed towards two developmental initiatives. Of the total $50 million is earmarked for Nigeria's rural electrification projects managed by the World Bank to enhance renewable energy access. The remaining $2.88 million will be used to support a counter-terrorism training program for criminal justice practitioners across Africa, facilitated by the International Institute for Justice. Fagbemi assures stakeholders of stringent measures to ensure transparency and accountability in the utilization of the funds. He further promised periodic progress reports to both governments to track the implementation of their projects. Now, this agreement underscores President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's unwavering resolve to fight corruption and utilize the recovered resources for socio-economic development, he stated. On his part, Ambassador Mills expressed optimism about the judicious use of the repatriated funds. He reiterated the allocation of $50 million for rural electrification and $2.88 million for counter-terrorism training, describing the partnership as a testament to the strong ties between the two nations. Still on the happenings on our political space this morning, AMI seeks greater collaboration for effective service delivery. The Nigerian Army has called for greater collaboration among the security agencies in the country for effective service delivery. The call was made on Friday by the Commander, 3 Army Brigade, Bakuvu, Barracks, Kanu, Brigadier General Ahmed Tuku. He was speaking shortly after a special Jumat prayer held in honor of the country's fallen heroes at the Central Mosque, Bukavu, Barracks, Kanu. Tuku paid tribute to the fallen heroes for laying down their lives in defense of Nigeria's territorial integrity. He urged Nigerians to continuously offer prayers for the repose of their souls. He stressed that their sacrifices should not be in vain and emphasized the need for unity and cooperation among the country's security agencies. In his sermon, Major Sabiu Yusuf, Imam of the Central Mosque, Bakuvu Barracks, Kanu, said that security was a collective responsibility of all stakeholders. He quoted from the Quranic verses and the prophetic traditions to convey his message. Still on our political space this morning, APC Youth Wing celebrates Sheyi Tinubu's selfless service. The All Progressive Congress Youth Wing has conferred the Young Person of the Year 2024 award on Sheyi Tinubu, son of Nigeria's president, according to a statement by the national youth leader, Dr. Dayo Israel. Sheyi Tinubu was recognized for his outstanding contributions to the improving welfare of others and making life meaningful to the less privileged. Israel cited Sheyi's philanthropic efforts, particularly his response to the disaster in Borno State last December, as exemplary. He noted that Sheyi's commitment to social good is evident in his consistent and impactful contributions over the years. The APC youth leader praised Sheyi's leadership approach, emphasizing collaboration and swift action. He highlighted Sheyi's recent visit to Meduguri, where he donated over 500 million naira to flood victims. He said the APC National Youth Wing will honor Sheyi Tinubu at an upcoming event which recognizes outstanding young leaders who have demonstrated exceptional leadership and commitment to driving positive change in Nigeria. Sheyi's actions underscore a broader philosophy using one's platform for the greater good. His approach avoids grandstanding, focusing instead on meaningful and lasting contributions in an era where influence is often equated with visibility. His preference for understated services set him apart, he stated. Still to come on political views on Airborne at the 103.5 FM is aim for United Igbo Nation. Uzodinma tells new Ohanese president. Remember that you're listening to political views on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making rounds our political space this morning. Stick with us.
Born at the 103.5 FM, Ogidi presents Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Are you an upcoming model, actor, rap, R&B, gospel, reggae, or high life musician? Are you trying to find your footing on social media? Do you want to earn money with talents and skills? Do not look any further. Sign up for Ebona, the 103.5 FM Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Today, you will have the opportunity to learn and become an expert in video coverage, photography, film editing, music production, advertising and social media marketing, content creation, filmmaking, radio drama, magazine production, and many more. Register today at Ebona, the 103.5 FM Ogidi, opposite Obunike Boys, inside European Residency Hotel, Ogidi. For more information, call or WhatsApp 080 65 79 6599. Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political views come to you at Ebona, the 103.5 FM with Martin IFEANYICHUKWU Ekezie every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebona 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date. Ebona the 103.5 FM. Napapoa production. Now my business. Women will tell you HJ radio drama. Enrico. Ekezie radio drama Ewigo gonna dialogue every Monday 8 o'clock p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Saturday 3 o'clock p.m. Now, Ebonadi 103.5 FM. Yang lebih dia also if you move by finish your business, yeah.
Amara mi rewa di amo, ko puna ka de na na ko na ni ko na ye. Uke ka ku ja wala ala ma musu na ye mo le si ku.
Ekokona ka call dinka call.
You're welcome back to Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I remain Martin IFEANYICHUKWU Ekezie. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. Now, the next story we have for you on this particular edition of Political Views is Senator Azota Mbata emerges new President General of Ohaneze. The Apes Igbo Social Cultural Organization Ohaneze Ndi Igbo on Friday elected former Senator John Azota Mbata as its new President General. Azota Mbata, who represented Rivers East at the National Assembly, was elected at the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo General Assembly meeting held at the Old Government Lodge, Enugu State. He will succeed Nze Ozichukwu Fidelis Chukwu, who was appointed last month to complete the tenure of Imo State formerly occupied by late Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu. He was elected by consensus in the election witnessed by the governors Peter Mba of Enugu State, Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, and Charles Soludo of Anambra State. Ebonyi State was represented by the Deputy Governor. Prince Oke Nwadinobi from Abia was elected as the National Deputy President, while Chief Emeka Sibidu from Anambra State is the new Secretary General of the Igbo Group. Chebidu was a deputy governor during the administration of Uguli Obiano in Anambra State. In his acceptance speech, Azota Mbata expressed gratitude to the delegates for their trust and support, promising to work towards uniting the Igbo people and addressing the pressing issues. He stated that he would soon unveil his manifesto for Ndi in the next 4 years. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Azota Mbata on his election as the president of Ohaneze Ndi worldwide. Tinubu also congratulated the group on the successful transition and joining the new leaders to uphold the principles of their predecessors. The president underscored the critical role of socio-cultural organizations in nation building, stressing commitment to promoting dialogue among ethnic nationalities. And still on our political space this morning, the next story we have for you is Aim for United Igbo Nation. Uzodinma tells new Ohaneze president. The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has urged the newly elected President General of the Apex Igbo Social, Cultural, Political Organization, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, John Azota Mbata, and his executive to consolidate on the gains of past administrations and ensure that the vision of a united and prosperous Igbo nation remains paramount. Uzodinma said this in a statement following the successful conclusion of the election in Enugu that produced Azota Mbata. The governor described Azota Mbata's victory as well-deserved, adding that it reflects his steadfast commitment to the Igbo cause. He said that the peaceful conduct of the election is a testament to the harmonious and progressive nature of the Igbo people, adding that it underscores our collective resolve to advance the growth and unity of the Igbo nation. He appreciated the organization's continued transformation and how it projects not only the rich culture of the people, but also their renowned enterprising spirit. This transformation serves the critical purpose of fostering sustainable development and positioning the Igbo nation for greater accomplishments, he said. Uzodinma concluded by assuring the leadership of his maximum support towards achieving noble goals. Still on the happenings on our political space this morning, Tinubu, Matawale, others join special prayers for Nigeria's fallen heroes. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, joined President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other dignitaries at the Central Mosque in Abuja to offer prayers in honor of Nigerian fallen heroes. The special prayer session held as part of activities to commemorate the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day highlighted the nation's gratitude to its military and paramilitary personnel who sacrificed their lives in the line of duty. In a press statement issued by Ahmad Dan Woodale, personal assistant on media to the Minister of State for Defense, the event was described as a solemn reminder of the selfless service rendered by Nigeria's security operatives. The Armed Forces Remembrance Day, observed annually on January 15th, honors the sacrifices of fallen heroes while seeking divine guidance and protection for serving personnel and their families. Special prayers were offered for the repose of the souls of departed soldiers, the safety and the success of those currently serving, and the progress and stability of the nation. The event was graced by members of the Federal Executive Council, lawmakers, senior military officials, and paramilitary officers as the nation prepares for the wreath-laying ceremony and other activities to mark the occasion. The minister called on Nigerians to reflect on the sacrifices of the armed forces and contribute to building a peaceful and secure nation. Well, the next story we have for you this morning is Kanu throne. Sanusi secures a victory as appeal court upturns Justice Lima's verdict. The Court of Appeal Abuja Division on Friday overruled the verdict of the Federal High Court Kano Division over the appointment of Emir Muhammad Sanusi II in the Kano State Government's appeal on the chieftaincy issue. The appellant court overturned the lower court's decision that questioned Sanusi's appointment as the 16th Emir in a judgment delivered by a three-member panel led by Justice Muhammad Mustafa. The appellant court insisted that the Federal High Court overstretched its limits to rule on a matter is lacking jurisdiction. In an application for enforcement of fundamental rights brought before Justice Abdullahi Liman of the then Federal High Court Akanu by Aminu Baba Dan Agundi, a former Emirate council under the former Emir Aminu Ado Bayero, the lower court nullified government's appointment of Sanusi as a first-class Emir, but the appellant court voided the judgment of Justice Liman, now promoted to the Court of Appeal, insisting that a federal high court has no business with chieftaincy matters. The appellant justice said the trial court lacked the power to order for maintenance of status quo in a matter it has no jurisdiction, and thereby set aside the controversial ruling that placed Kanu with two ruling emirs. Besides assuming wrong jurisdiction, the Court of Appeal held that Justice Liman wrongfully assumed a sharegiver status by dabbling into a chieftaincy affair, which was out of the fundamental rights sought by the plaintiff. Aminu Baba Dan Agundi had insisted that the Kano state government sack of Bayero and the dissolution of the five emirates through the new Emirate Council Repair Law 2023 without due consultation had negatively affected his fundamental rights. The court further declared that the Federal High Court had no jurisdiction to intervene in matters pertaining to the Kano State Emirate Council law. It emphasized that the principal beliefs sought by Bayero fell outside of the scope of the fundamental human rights and were in fact related to chieftaincy matters. Citing Section 251 of the Nigerian Constitution, the court pointed out that the Federal High Court does not have the authority to handle issues related to chieftaincy. In a similar case, the apparent court upturned the judgment of Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu of the State High Court and directed Kano State Chief Judge to reassign the matter for fresh hearing. Still on the happenings on our political space this morning, the next story we have for you is we need 126 billion naira to run in 2025. INEC tells Assembly. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Friday told the National Assembly that the 40 billion naira budget allocated to it for the 2025 fiscal year is grossly inadequate. Instead, 126 billion naira is needed to fund its activities in 2025. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu raised the concern in Abuja during the Joint Senate and Representatives Committee on Electoral Matters on the 2024 budget defense and the 2025 budget proposals for the Commission. Yakubu explained that the 40 billion naira being proposed for the Commission in the 2025 budget presented to the National Assembly by the President would not be enough to cover its activities, including salaries and allowances for the year in view of the recent increase in minimum wage. He said the year 2025 was a very critical year for the Commission. We have the Anambra governorship election coming up later in the year. Provision for preparation for that election is not in the budget. We must have elections scheduled for February 2026, and the budget for that election is not in this budget. We must monitor party primaries for these elections, including the conduct of by-elections, and the budget for that is not in the current budget, Yakubu said. He explained that in 2020, was also allocated the same 40 billion naira, which only covered salaries and some social contributions such as NHIS contributions, pension, ITF, among others. We complained about the allocations and you asked what we thought would be adequate. We made a proposal of 80 billion naira then. We are aware that you made efforts to ensure an increase, but that didn't work. On our part, we made efforts and approached the executive for more funds, and we were able to get about 10.5 billion naira from the executive to take care of the Edo and the Ondo governorship elections. That was why we were able to conduct those elections and come out successfully, he said. The INEC chairman also disclosed that the commission planned to replace some of its items, such as beavers machines, voting cubicles, and other materials. Reacting to the presentation by the INEC chairman, Senator Ireti Kingibe, said the National Assembly must look for ways to get enough funding for the Commission if it must discharge its responsibility diligently and save the nation's democracy. Still on the happenings on our political space this morning on Father Obima's ultimatum to Soludo. In a dramatic escalation of public discourse over Anambra's security challenges, the state government has entered into a heated public confrontation with a prominent Catholic priest, Reverend Father Emmanuel Obima, also known as Ebubemonso. The controversy erupted after Father Obima's New Year homily, in which he issued an ultimatum to Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, address the mounting security crisis or resign from office. The Soludo administration, instead of responding with facts, rather gave a disproportionate response, which has sparked a heated debate among about the state's approach to public safety and governmental accountability. In his homily, Father Obima, the spiritual director of Holy Ghost Adoration Ministry, UK, characterized the security situation in Anambra as horrible and demanded immediate action from the state government. The priest's intervention comes amid a troubling surge in violent crimes across the state, particularly during the December 2024, with Governor Soludo's administration appearing unable to contain the situation. The final month of 2024 witnessed high-profile incidents that rattled the state's residents, notable cases including the kidnapping of Honorable Justice Azoka, a lawmaker representing Onitsha North One State constituency on Christmas Eve. 2 days later, the community was shocked by the brutal murder of Father Tobias Okonkwo, a Catholic priest from the Diocese of Nnewi in the Ihiara area. And the crime wave continued with the kidnapping of three senior staff members from Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing Company in Nnewi, whose whereabouts remain unknown. As you can see, people are dying every day, and Governor Soludo, is not doing anything, Father Obima declared, pointing to the governor's statutory role as the state's chief security officer with their primary agenda of security of life and property. The priest particularly criticized the allocation of security votes, questioning their effective utilization in addressing the deteriorating situation. The spiritual leader's criticisms extended beyond immediate security concerns, challenging Soludo's adherence to his campaign promises, notably his pledge to transform Anambra into Dubai. In a pointed remark, Father Obima stated, "This is not time for using his media warriors to blow his trumpet. Whatever is worth doing is worth doing well." Rather than merely criticizing, Father Obima proposed a collaborative approach, urging the convening of a security summit to pool ideas and resources in combating the rising insecurity in Anambra. The response, however, from Governor Soludo's camp was swift and tense, but lacking in substance. This response appeared more focused on attacking Father Obima's personality than addressing the substance of his message. Even if the criticisms had rattled the Soludo administration, a more measured response based on facts would have been appropriate. Labeling Obima a hypocrite and pretender has not sat well with the public, particularly Catholics, especially given that Soludo had previously sought the priest's blessings during his campaign, even describing him as a true man of God. The administration's quick shift from praise to condemnation because of legitimate criticisms portrays it as heavy-handed and resistant to accountability. And the next story we have for you this morning: at Armed Forces Remembrance Day, Sanwo-Olu tax residents on prayers for Nigeria's unity. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said it is imperative for Nigerians to keep Nigeria as one and continue to pray for the unity and the progress of Nigeria so that the levels of nation's heroes' past will not be in vain. Speaking on Friday at the special Jumat service to mark the 2025 Annual Armed Forces Remembrance Day, Sanwo-Olu, represented by the Commissioner for Home Affairs, Ibrahim Layode, said this is a very critical moment in the life of our country and we need to continue to pray and support the leadership of Nigeria. It is our responsibility to support our leaders and also carry out the instructions of Allah on leadership and followership. We have survived much turbulence as a people, and this period too will soon pass. Nigeria will attain its greater heights, and the entire citizenry will enjoy the dividends of our perseverance because after rain comes sunshine. Sanwo-Olu stated that the Jumat service is very important to the government as it affords the government the opportunity to pray to Allah to grant Al-Jannah Firdaus to fallen heroes and to also keep the families left behind safe. Still on our political space this morning, the last story we have for you before you can call in and tell us what you think of all of this is dangerous cabal influencing Tinubu government, whereas ex-minister Dalong insists. Former Minister of Youth and Sports Solomon Dalong has reaffirmed the existence of a dangerous cabal in President Bola Tinubu's administration. Dalong said the dangerous cabal is influencing the decisions of Tinubu's administration. He made the claim while featuring on news. The former minister insisted that members of the cabal were pursuing their selfish and personal interests. He said, if you look at the hardship in the country and the president's reaction is completely a disconnect from the reality we are dealing with. Of course, I still maintain that infrastructure of the cabal is still effective and also influencing most of the things we see happening in government. They are dangerous because they pursue their selfish interests against the interests of their principal, and that, of course, is at cross purposes with the intention of whoever appointed them. That is dangerous because they are doing things different from what ordinarily would have impacted positively on Nigerians. The former minister also refrained from disclosing the identities of the cabal as to asking me to name some names. I have clearly given you my opinion about what I know as a cabal, and it is up to you to dig deeper as an investigative journalist to find out. Dalong stated. Well, there you have it. A lot is happening on our political space, and we as a people must talk about it. Now, remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 or 081 Now, the federal government have received the assets linked to the former Minister of Petroleum, Diezani Alison-Madueke. The FCC have arrested 4 Chinese and 101 Nigerians in Abuja for cybercrime. The suspects were arrested on Thursday. They were involved in a hotel review scam targeting victims in Europe and other parts of the world. The INEC chairman, is also presenting 126 million naira budget, which is 3 times for the figure approved in 2024 budget. So, what is your take on all of this? Get involved. You can now call us to become part of the conversation. Call us on 081 or 081 you can become part of the conversation if you call us on 0065 Let's hear from you right about now. Hello. Yes, Ototoma, my brother, welcome. Okay. When you go no no one go see, I don't know, see you pop man. I got you so. Na aga you na. Okay. Mm. Mm. So na ihe dị na ife ị na-ege m ntị iwe wana ka njọ ga ajụjụ because na ị na-akọwasị na gosi na ọhaneze mere the right thing by position that slot ka ọ gaa to them now iji wee involve ọfa kọwakwa yes na ha bụ ndị Igbo. Don't you think not a very good thing? Okay. 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 So ka I believe na nke a kịta ga-eme ka ha kwele onye isi. Yes, okay. Okay. One Subaru, I gonna batakando also. Oh, ina shata will continue the conversation, okay? Okay. Mm. Okay. Mm. Yeah, also. Mm. But you know, Bon, this one is a customary matter now. Nkaketa I know customary matter. But thank you so much for joining us this morning. Can I have a okay? Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, it is what it is. It is political views on Airborne at 103.5 FM. You can become part of the conversation when you call us on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 796599. So, also happening on our political space this morning, what is happening on our political space this morning is that days after soldiers killing, troops neutralize 109 terrorists, arrest 81. Now, Nigerian troops on the front line battling insurgents have eliminated no fewer than 109 terrorists a few days after 6 soldiers were killed in the battlefield. The disclosure was made by spokesman of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, on Friday. According to Buba, the armed forces remain focused and will continue its counter-insurgency campaign against terrorists and their cohorts operating across the country. He added, during the week under review, troops neutralized 109 and arrested 81 persons. Additionally, troops arrested 6 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 43 kidnapped hostages. In the South, troops denied oil theft of the estimated sum of 618.7 million naira. Furthermore, troops recovered 21 assorted weapons and 124 assorted ammunition. The breakdown as follows: 9 AK-47 rifles, 5 fabricated rifles, 4 Dane guns, 3 locally made pistols, 7 magazines, 97 rounds of 7.62mm special ammo, 22 rounds of 7.62mm NATO, 5 live cartridges, 3 Buffing radios, 4 vehicles, 6 motorcycles, and 4 mobile phones, amongst others. So let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello? Yeah, okay, we lost you. Please keep the calls coming on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742. You can equally reach us on 080 65 79 6599. Yes, remember that we are also talking about, the ultimatum given to Governor Chukwu Macha Soludo by Reverend Father Obima. Let's hear from you now. Hello. Yes, good morning, my brother. Yes. Welcome, sir. Please, from Ogidi, please go on, sir.
Let me react quickly on the truth claim of the terrorizing bandits.
Okay.
Really, I think it's a mere story. Because bandits are now hopefully not looking at the place, all over the place. In southeast, south, southwest. In fact, they comprise of 30% of our population now. And the government is not doing anything. Have you seen that they are neutralizing this supply they are claiming in the media? How come are they forming so groups like they are up to 7 branches now? Commenting and naming people, killing, kidnapping. Like, let me just call. This kidnapping issue now that is happening, ransom will be paid and we cannot pay who that money is paid to.
Yeah.
And even government officers pay most of this ransom too. And then, are they helping issues? That does not deceive us. We are just claiming that they are doing that in the radio. And everybody, if you sleep now, your eyes, because you don't know what to supposed to be a shepherd. He cannot take a case of vendetta. And look at the insurgency and the insecurity. It's all over Nigeria. It's not peculiar to Anambra State that will make him, tell our honorable governor to resign or do this or that. It looks as if he's, poking nose into politics.
Okay.
Let him face his
calling.
But his job, yes, he is called. And really, he's talking of governor resigning and what? They themselves, people will gather money, they will do schools, hotels, and this. And the poor men cannot afford to go to a month of school. Yes, is he a sense? Let us be frank to each other.
Okay.
So that is by the way.
Okay.
Coming to the Hausa people, claiming Emia, this and that.
Okay. Okay, Sanusi now.
Everybody.
You're talking about Sanusi now, Emia Sanusi.
Sanusi and the other
Ade Bayaro.
Everybody wants to be an equal because it is a paramount. And moreover, the judiciary in Nigeria is not helping matter.
Okay.
It's not helping matter. How can this court give order, another court receive, another court receive, and all those orders are in knowledge?
Okay.
Then INEC, that is talking of 120 billion.
Yeah.
What are they doing for us? If not to bring cost in this nation, they are supposed to be scrapped and taxed because they are of bad more than good they are doing. The money that they are taking from aspirants, is it not enough for them? Then the government will give them half of the budget for them to exist. What are they doing for us? If not defeat. So this nation will change so many of their constitutions so that the presidency can no more have hand in appointing an next chairman.
Okay.
That is the reason. And this money they are claiming now, they will give it to them so that they will govern on the next election.
Okay.
Yes. Let us say no to a party so that this country will go on and on and on. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Honorable Onyedika Osakwe, all the way from Ogidi. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello?
Hello, ma.
Yes, good morning, my sister. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, my sister.
How are you?
Now, I thank the Lord. And you?
I am fine.
Okay.
Adam,
Please go on.
but I wanted to do the listening today.
Okay.
But what the last caller said prompted me to go.
Okay.
For me, I am even annoyed that the clergymen in this country are not doing enough. Even the politicians are. They are not looking at them right in the face right now and tell them that they have failed in all ramifications. Looking at the security in Anambra State, if somebody can go to another state and get a tracker from the governor of another state to rescue a victim in Anambra State, and he came out to condemn that, somebody will tell him to mind his business. What is that business? If you are a shepherd, how do you shepherd? Your home now might be your man. As a man, you are not active. You don't give a holistic protection or holistic responsibility of your family. Will it be well with you now?
No, it won't. If you are not doing it.
So I don't know what is happening. I am trying to revolution. After killing the protesters or whatever, kill the politicians, they turn to the clergymen, isn't it? They turn to them and kill them too, that they did not do what they are supposed to do. I don't even know that also will come to this level. Let other, that our two reference sisters are still in the captivity of
kidnappers. Yes.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? In Nigeria, we let the time. In Chile, what to come out there, condemn and condemn and hear. And maybe only honorable government. What honorable? While we are dying in our numbers here, and nothing is being done, and nothing. That is so many tangible things from the government side, and the security vote comes every month, and a different one here. here. The governor made the governor at the now. Security-wise, in fact, you need to do more. You need to do more, okay?
Okay.
Finally, I don't know what they are talking about this year to the vote. Whether it's the vice president or he's about to be president or whatever he's about to do.
Maybe the governor of Lagos State in future, maybe we don't know.
They are telling us, no, you know that they always coin a lot of incredible things like the bishops doing his father's campaign. Whether they are doing that, these youths, I want to ask them, the vision and level of the Tinubu, all they are going to operate as Lumologi or Masaronso. Don't they want to be in that level other than being praised singers and eating from the table of Tinubu? You should know what they want in this country. I am pitying them. I don't know the very before. They should stop this following. Even the governors, the president, those should come together and tell them that they need their work to work and they need to be like their children.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, my sister. That's her own thought on the entire thing. So what is your own? Let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello? Yes, welcome back, my brother. Welcome. Gabaniru Orananiru. Na Ganiru. Gabaniru, sir. Matter like a custom. As I'm not customary court, that's not matter. Can
I got to wonder how to consider it. They should go back and obey the lower court before coming to them. As well as India. The government in charge of to obey of that low court, or focus them low court. Then I had to make the court to obey with that low court of State. There is releasing them the salon and the debt that are flowing to him. And he paid him some of our money to the lawyer. Why had you worked in a Haman made that you there? You still had to work that. Of one of better has put getting how much. I want to tell you, I took out the job here. So when I did a customer in their bank, federal government of Nigeria, I don't want to know anything to do as I said. Then to do what they do the needful and you obey that low cost order to release it and detect it and defend some of our market wire. That's what it is.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning, my brother. But we are still on it, on the happenings on our political space this morning. Yes, we're talking about a couple of things. For example, the admonition of Governor Chukwuma Charles Saludo by the Reverend Father Emmanuel Obima. Let's hear from you now. Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
We thank the Lord. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm good night. I talk from the father.
Please go on, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
But you have to put off your radio set so that you will be clear. Put off your radio set and then go on, sir.
Okay. I want to talk an issue of what the Lalang said about the Kabal.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk on this because I know that in Nigeria we have Kadi people. But what I want to know is who are the Kabal that are controlling the president of Nigeria? The Kabal, are they the party people or people outside the country? I don't understand what you mean by Kabal.
That is like from his own point of view, Kabal should be those people who were appointed into government, who are there working, but at the same time they are not paying attention to what their principal wants. They are just they are just acting on their own selfish interest and not trying to actualize, the intents of their, principal, the president himself.
Yeah, but I know that it's the president that gives the command, and it's the president that directs a lot of things to do. If the president is directing, is it the Kabal that will stop the people not to do it?
No,
When we talk about personal interest in this issue and the cabal, we find out that if presidents do not dance on their shoes, or if they are not the people that appointed president to be the president, and presidents are looking onto them for the second tenure, I believe that these people don't have the power to stop what the president wants to do. But meanwhile, the president wants to meet the second tenure, and he want them to support him. That's why he's doing as he's doing now. But apart from that, he's supposed to do what he's supposed to do, because I don't know the work of his capacity. It's because first and foremost, that they don't have to match the interest, people's interest. Now, what I now find out that is all of them, both the president and all the cabals, are the same, working together for their own selfish interest. And that's what I saw here. And the concerned issue of yeah, to Governor Surudo.
Yes.
What I want to say that just Reverend Father has to say something constructively. Everything he wants to do, he criticized the government constructively. This man came into Anambra State and inherited all these things. All these things we were there before he entered. And he knows how to handle this type of matters and these issues. Even in Nigeria, the present is here. Now look at now, the terrorists attack Army Barracks and the KC. If this has done to them, what then will be the thing for the masses that don't have God or trained for that? So whenever somebody wants to say something, he will look for from around him or around Nigeria. What is happening in Nigeria? The terrorists, we have some people in the Kaduna and the army are permitted to eliminate them. But look at everything in Nigeria has been gone into anarchy. And now people were there to control it. And they're now saying to resign also. Who will not enter and that the things will stop? And we know where the things are coming from. Let them release him now the time. So I think it's 5% of them will stop. They will now begin to look into the other matters and now know how to take it, because people have been hijacked the IPOC and using it for enterprises. So this is the problem we have. So you have to go to where the problems are and not to tackle the person that are there. Because that's what the another state government. So that is what I want to say.
So I want to bring you back to what you said earlier. I want to bring you back to what you said earlier, which is where you are talking about, this issue. Now the president, if you have been in any setting where you are supposed to lead and you give orders to people to carry it out, sometimes you might just give them the orders and they will still not carry it out. Or even when they will carry it out, they won't be so articulate or be so good in trying to carry it out that you can't even penalize them the way they carried it out, because they carried it out in the first place. But they might have their own selfish interest guiding them in trying to carry those things out, then undermining your order. You understand it? Yeah. So sometimes the president can be in a situation whereby he can't even handle the people that are working for him because all of them have their own bandana. It can happen.
Okay.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I want to say is that everybody has his own opinion. So those people have their own interest. The president has his own interest, and the president wants to preach masses and not to preach them. Now, if president wants to do something, he brings out opinion. All of them will listen to it, and he that brings opinion will not know what to do. Whenever he wants to do something, when he hears from them, he himself will conclude as the president and do what will be good for the masses and not for them. So that is where he has a little problem there. So that's what I want to add here.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, my brother. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now, keep the calls coming. Let's talk about the situation on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. Yes, Yes, remember that we talked about Senator Azuta Mbata, who emerged the new president of Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide. Yes, let's hear from you right about now. What do you have to say about the happenings on our political space this morning? Hello? 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 Oh, please call back. Network took that one away. Now we're also talking about, the ultimatum that Father Obima gave to Governor Chukwuma Soludo about the security situation in Anambra State. Become part of the conversation because all of these affect you and me in one way or the other. You'll remember that we also discussed the fact that the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Mahmood Yakubu, submitted a 126 billion naira budget, which is 3 times the approved figure we had in 2024. He cited a lot of activities that will go on in this year. He talked about the Anambra State election as the reason why this must be done to enable him carry out the elections that needs to go on this particular year. Yes, a lot of people are of the opinion that Reverend Father Obima should mind his work as a priest and leave that of governance to the people in government. Some people are also of the opinion that his responsibility as a priest is that he should speak truth to power. So, what is your take on the matter? Keep the calls coming on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. Let's hear from you now. Hello? Hello? Oh, okay, we lost that call. Please keep the calls coming on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742. Ọnwa mgbe kọlụ ga-abata otu a kọtụ n'ike ịma na onye ọsọ onye na-amalite ya okwu mana ọ like ka esi ekwu ya bụ okwu na-akọwasị a lot of things na-aga on na political space and ọ chọrọ contribute mana ọ mara ka esi ekwu ya because ọsọ flash APK call your kọtụ at the end. That's what we see sometimes. Mana ọ dịgo ka o esi dị, it's very important that we talk about this situation. Now you remember that the controversy. Okay, let's hear from this person before we continue. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, my sister. How are you doing? I wish you the same. Welcome. Lotegodo Ohaneze afa gị na-ebe isi akpọ gị gabazie n'iru. Please, gaba n'iru.
Hello?
Gaba n'iru na anyị na-anụ ị na-ekwu ịdị ka achọ. Na-aga n'iru. Na-aga n'iru na anyị na-anụ ị na-ekwu. Na-aga n'iru, na-aga n'iru. Gaba n'iru. Okay. Yes, I'm a hot evidence. Okay. Okay, so can hota sipi na ekwu ofuma ị na-akọwa now like otu a Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo si wee nye free education na enwe ike ọ bụrụ na o so ewu ya iwe maybe na ọ na-affect school ya, do you think? Okay. Okay. Yes. No problem. Okay. Dalo. Okay. My sister, thank you so much. Dalo. Dalo. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Wonderful. Amen. Dalo. 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 Thank you so much for joining us, my sister. Oh, Dalo, thank you for your kind words and your insight into the story. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say? Hello. Welcome back, my brother. Naganiru. Gabaniru, sir. Fagokwa Bivasa, some of the things fire changing. I say na how change even some of box fan use cubicles, separate cubicles and a J put in a lot of things Fagoka say no I be hegi how you do a meal to her.
So now, they have the system here that you have to do this. When I cook up my email, here the move that they are here and I used to go there. One thing that I find, I don't go to the left. I talk with I go see her. I don't see her. I have to have a little time. Okay, I don't know what I do. I have to look at that. Okay, I got the man. Now, I have to go to
Mm.
that day, the one who is on the left. I would keep the position like God that in Nigeria.
Mm.
So I want to tell you, like, I got agua y como que yo soy súper de tratar de hacer esto y pero no te pido más que digo ahí me dice algo acá la ne que me dice que está con la que me dice de Jesus y de los otros que yo no que se vamos a decir no voy a hacer yo nada so I'm going to have to have not you to that I need to do it so have
Okay, Dalo, thank you so much for joining us again this morning. Keep the calls coming on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This is a political views edition. This edition of political views on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742. You can equally call us on 080 65 79 6599. Yes, remember that we are also talking about the fact that US returns $52.88 million stolen funds linked to Diezani Alison-Madueke. We are also talking about, the ultimatum given to Governor Charles Masoludo on insecurity in Anambra State by Father Obima. We are also looking into the fact that INEC is demanding 126 billion naira to run, elections in 2025. INEC tells National Assembly. But talking about the U.S. return of that is the fact that U.S. returns $52.88 million stolen funds linked to Diezani Alison-Madueke. And this one, it was revealed to Nigerians during the signing, of that particular asset from the United States of America. The Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, disclosed this, at that formal signing of the assets between Nigeria and the United States of America. Delivering his remarks, the Attorney General of the Federation explained that $50 million, will be, it will get to Nigerians through the World Bank. And they said that most of the assets will be deployed through the World Bank via, the electrification of Nigeria project. And still on the happenings on our political space this morning, PDP chieftain Sam Ben Mosu resigns from party. A chieftain of the People's Democratic Party PDP in Anambra State, Mr. Sam Ben Mosu, has resigned his membership in the party Nwosu, a foundation member of the party, announced his resignation from PDP in a letter addressed to the party's leadership in Otolo Ward 1, Nnewi. The letter was made available to journalists on Friday in Oka. Nwosu said the recent events made him to reevaluate his position in the party after several years of commitment and dedication to his ideals of promoting democratic tenets. He wrote, but recently a full swing has taken shape within the party, especially as he has to do with unfair treatment and orchestrated embarrassment by some political marshals within the party. The most popular of such embarrassment was the signing of a suspension letter by an unknown organ of the party without due process or proper notification to myself. The next senatorial elections will run in an opportunity. Okay, it's an opportunity to showcase to the people that a prepared mind is better than a monetized mind, and hence my resignation. Nwosu, a former federal commissioner, Public Complaints Commission, said his decision to resign from PDP was not an easy one. What is your take on the matter? Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all that is going on in our political space? The numbers once again is 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. Let's hear from you now. You also remember that the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has urged the newly elected President General of the Apex Igbo Social Political Organization, Ohaneze Ndibo, John Azuta Ambata, and his executive to consolidate on the gains of past administrations and ensure that the vision of a united and prosperous Igbo nation remains paramount. So that's why we are also looking at the situation, the way the Ohaneze Ndigbo zoned this particular presidential election to River State, making sure that the person that will take the mantle of leadership of Ohaneze Ndigbo must come from River State. From the way I'm looking at it, don't you think basically that it is going to foster that unity that we are talking about in the first place, bringing about even the fact that some of the callers like Ubina from Nnewi will complain this morning about the fact that some people from that region do not accept full like they don't look at themselves as people who are fully Igbo people. But with such, gesture, with such thing, happening now, I foresee, a united Igbo front. And don't you think so? We are getting to the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. But we have a couple of minutes to spare and would like to hear from you, your thoughts on the happenings on our political space this morning, most especially when it comes to, the ultimatum given to Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo by Reverend Father Ubima Ibube Monso, as he is known. Once again, 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. Well, we've gotten to the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This is the time when we get to look into, the situation and like the happenings in the political space, the way it affects you and me in one way or the other. And we've done that, perfectly well today. With calls coming in from Nnewi, from different parts of Anambra State this morning and beyond. So I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that called, everyone listening. Thank you so much for paying attention to what we're doing. But this is the spot where we'll call it a day, and I remain the one and only Martin IFEANYICHUKWU Ekezie. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember to stay tuned to Ebon at the 103.5 FM. A lot is coming your way on this platform. Till we meet again, shalom.
Ebona, the 103.5 FM OBD presents Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Are you an upcoming model, actor, rap, R&B, gospel, reggae, or high life musician? Are you trying to find your footing on social media? Do you want to earn money with talents and skills? Do not look any further. Sign up for Ebona, the 103.5 FM Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Today, you will have the opportunity to learn and become an expert in video coverage, photography, film editing, music production, advertising and social media marketing, content creation, filmmaking, radio drama, magazine production, and many more. Register today at Ebona, the 103.5 FM Ogidi, opposite Oguite Boys, inside European Residency Hotel Ogidi. For more information, call or WhatsApp 080 65 79 6599.
Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Hit the subscribe button right here. Remember to check this out. It's on Amazon.com. Hip hop and Igbo culture by yours faithfully, Martin IFEANYICHUKWU. Okay, check it out on Amazon.com. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay, Dahalom. Dahalo.